Pew Pew Springs in the South Island attracts divers from all over the world, keen to experience the purity of these immaculate waters. The exquisite majesty of this underwater world near Nelson is a reminder of something that many of us spend our lives pursuing.
It's something New Zealand is world famous for, yet it's something that few New Zealanders possess. Something called beauty.
We have no way of knowing when the first beauty contest held on New Zealand soil took place. It was probably early Maori. Perhaps Kupe was a judge. Certainly the woman would have been more hirsute than this lot, and probably looked less like Barbie dolls.
Short skirts, long hair, love it when they walk, yeah. I'm on cloud nine, you look so fine, can't wait to make you mine. I kinda like the way you walk past.
Beauty contests like this may have lost much of their glamour and relevance. Nonetheless, the young beauties in this pageant are helping to preserve one of the great New Zealand traditions, perving at chicks.
The winner for this year is...
Mr. Age, Laurel Barrett.
Who will become Miss Wellington 1974? 2 weeks ago...
Where beauty is gone, commerce has been quick to follow, keen to associate itself with attractive merchandise.
18-year-old Lorraine Tobosh is Miss Phillips K9 Colour TV. Lorraine's a clerk whose sport is water skiing. She's done some modelling and likes sewing. Miss Kentucky Fried Chicken is Gail O'Sullivan, a 19-year-old receptionist secretary who's a member of the Wellington Operatic Society. Gail takes part in Miss Crippled Children's Society is 22-year-old Kathy Walker.
In 1974, Wellington's finest were presented in a specially decorated gymnasium with military escorts.
Gail O'Sullivan as Miss Kentucky Fried Chicken.
And Philip Sherry was on hand to break the news when it came to the moment of truth.
Miss Wellington 1974 is... Miss Petone Diane Wynyard. Say how pleased you are.
Very pleased.
Any more?
There's just so many people I like to thank, I just can't think of anyone.
Where there have been beautiful girls, there have always been creepy men with microphones seemingly standing in for their manhood.
As far as I can go. Oh, we can tilt it a bit this way. Come close. Gay, you've got the most beautiful complexion. You've got lovely skin. Does that go... What did I say? Does that go right down like, I mean, do your hands look as beautiful as that skin up there?
Yes.
Ah, well, you use Nulon hand cream. There's no doubt about that.
Who was the last one? That? Oh, I saw a picture of her. I thought, what a hungus mutt. I mean, really, you know, if you want to win, you want a bit of olive skin to you. You don't want that pasty white and then tan it up. That's rubbish.
You know, I grew up in a fairly male chauvinistic society where beauty contests and that sort of whole meat market thing was acceptable and taken for granted.
Actually, I was asked in the 80s would I be a judge for the New Zealand, Miss New Zealand thing. And, I mean, I suppose if they're in the nude, I might.
Feminists and other party poopers complained that our aspiring beauty queens were too thin, setting a bad example for young girls. But the situation for men was far worse. Mr. Puniverse was viewed as harmless fun.
Okay, let's do the double bicep pose now.
But this sausage sizzle of wieners was a foretaste of the manorexia that had its root in the increasingly debilitating male vanity of the 1980s. The froth gushing forth from the champagne 80s cork pop boom gushed over our collective flute and carried with it formerly brutish males, flushing them out from under the diff of their Leyland P76s to fully embrace the worship of their own chassis and do sissy stuff.
If you use the wheat germ oil...
At a time when hype clearly had more substance than substance itself,
Plain old vanilla-flavoured exercise was sneered at. There simply weren't enough Z's in the brand.
alternative sizes popped up everywhere, including Demise Rousseau size, which involved little movement at all. Punker size proved too dangerous and was shut down by Piggy Muldoon. And the homegrown Chilser size, although popular in Dunedin, never made it further north than Oamaru. This VHS versus beta-like a size war was eventually won by Jazz and its fetid Z-riddled offspring, Jazzercise. Hairy-assed men publicly flexed and sucked even the most sacred of manly muscles, the sphincter. Dairy farmers, looking as straight as Rock Hudson, and even All Blacks converted to the perm.
Players like Joe Masso, John Trillo, Claude...
All fluffed up, but ambivalent to the core-coring of the Euro Pufter Brigade at the local pub.
Martin, what's the reaction of people around here, your mates, to you becoming a male model?
They look at you and think, you know, what's he, you know, that sort of thing, you know?
Oh, going to the places where men congregate to talk about things masculine, they used to scream out from the corners, woolly woofter and puffter and you must be queer.
And so the New Zealand male had thus begun his inexorable slide towards woofterism, resulting in modern-day abominations like Ma'anonu, Michael Laws, and the Olympic equestrian team. Many great New Zealanders have undergone drastic changes in appearance, but none quite as shocking as the appearance of Bob Jones with hair.
It all started when Bob Jones identified Chase director Peter Francis as wearing a wig in a Jones Company report. Francis retaliated with today's newspaper ads. Peter Francis was unavailable for comment today, but Bob Jones demonstrated for the camera that the Chase Hair Clinic may have to refine its targeting of new hair.
Yes, because I wrote an article saying that he wore a wig, which he does, but he's not alone. Well, Winston does. Winston Peters wears a wig, and he won't mind me saying so, I'm sure, but and it's an amazing number of people who do. I'm honest about it. I don't put one on. But Winston's worn a wig for 25 years now.
Male hair loss has always been a sensitive subject, as illustrated by this episode of the popular 1970s sitcom, Dr. Rangi.
And so I said, do you have any mould in you? But she said no.
Dr. Rangi, could I ask you something, please?
Of course, love.
Your hair, is it
Oh, good question, actually. I had to shave it off. Picked up nits from those bloody orphans. This place is crawling with them. Actually, have you been checked?
Oh, no. No, I haven't. Well, Dr. Rainey, is this strictly standard procedure?
Actually, this is more like complementary medicine. But I must say, Nurse Betty, you've done a bang-up job down there.
Dr. Rainey.
But as we'll soon see, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I'm having the Australian Federal Police come over and check what you are carrying.
Terror in the air.
You could bring the whole plane down.
And a very big problem.
You have a substantial criminal history.
Yes. Then, a 94-year-old takes his near last step.
Do I look pretty? Oh, you look gorgeous.
And a ski holiday turns horribly wrong.
Could ultimately determine her survivability.
Medical emergency follows border security. Monday, TV1. They don't call it the Wheel of Fortune for nothing.
Talk about prizes.
From Alba by Fisher & Paykel Whitewear to a brilliant range of brand new Mitsubishi vehicles. And viewers can text to win hundreds of prizes with Noel Leeming. Weeknights, 5:30, TV1.
Whatever day of the week, enjoy a sub of the day for only $3.90. There's a different regular Subway 6-inch sub each day for the same low price.
Sub of the day made your way.
Only $3.90. Subway, eat fresh.
To stay young, I take care of myself. So I invest in my skin. For a long time, I've been searching for the miracle face cream, and now I've discovered Dermagenesis.
Dermagenesis is different. It helps stimulate cellular renewal for young-looking skin.
Only Dermagenesis contains 2 molecules with a fantastic power, Proxylan and hyaluronic acid. Everybody's talking about it. Skin is replumbed, tautened, illuminated.
New Dermagenesis from L'Oréal Paris helps stimulate cellular renewal for young-looking skin.
We're worth it.
Sports channel, $195. Flat screen TV, $2,500. Unpaid fines that got it seized, $140. Pay your fines or pay the price.
Whether it's enjoying a hit on the court or keeping up with the grandkids, staying mobile is important. A key area to look after is your joints, and this is where joint care from Nutrilife can help. A scientifically based formula, it harnesses the combined power of 2 natural substances, glucosamine together with high levels of chondroitin. Both help repair joints and protect them too. Great shot! Nutrilife Joint Care at your health food store or pharmacy.
You can't always avoid a cold or flu, but you can help reduce the effects. The multiple active ingredients in new Coldrex PE Cold and Flu Plus relieve symptoms for up to 6 hours. This new Coldrex formula is non-drowsy, is effective against headache and sinus pain, quickly relieves a blocked or runny nose, and reduces fever. Don't let colds or flu slow you down. Look for Coldrex at your pharmacy and supermarket.
The New Zealand Symphony Orchestra welcomes the return of conductor Yo Levy, with guest pianist Simon Tripcheski and NZSO concertmaster Vesa-Matti Lepinen for the Manpower Professional Tour. Works by Rachmaninoff, Young and Shostakovich, Hamilton, Auckland, Christchurch, Dunedin and Wellington. Proudly sponsored by Manpower Professional. Book now.
Ireland's favourite entertainer returns with an evening of hits and memories. Daniel O'Donnell live with Mary Duff. Auckland Aotea Centre, Dunedin Town Hall and Christchurch Town Hall, August 20th to 23rd. Tickets on sale now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Beauty and the Beast, a programme where we discuss your problems.
When Selwyn Toogood assembled a panel of beauties to discuss the public's beastly problems, a televisual institution was instituted, and remarkably, it all began at a TVNZ piss-up. Selwyn takes up the story from his own autohagiography.
The acorn from which the popular programme Beauty and the Beast grew first fell to ground at a Television One cocktail party. I was talking to Hal Weston of Dunedin, and I mentioned in passing that I felt a chatty advice show would be acceptable to New Zealand viewers.
Acceptable it most certainly was, and the show became a smash hit in the highly competitive 2-channel market.
The rose that I'm wearing today, as you probably know, is called 1,000 Beauties.
Like Beauty and the Beast, Romper Room also featured one of our great beauties, an after-school seductress by the name of Miss Yvonne Moore.
Our second exercise is press-ups, and it's the easy press-ups. Lie on your stomach.
She married Mike at 20. He was already the youngest member of Parliament. She was a school teacher. The cameras at her wedding didn't put her off.
Miss Yvonne loved the camera, and the camera loved Miss Yvonne.
Hooray, hooray, shouted all the children, and they swung on the branches of the tree and cheered and cheered.
But Romper Room wasn't to be Miss Yvonne's greatest moment, because for a few days in 1990, she became the most glamorous First Lady in the free world, as wife to then Prime Minister for a minute, Mike Moore.
Being First Lady is no easy job, and Yvonne Moore wasn't about to put a foot wrong on her first day. As speculation mounted, she prepared to join her husband in Wellington, but wouldn't discuss anything until she'd checked it was all right with him.
I just want to see him, cuddle him and say, "G'day, I'm here."
But Yvonne's job as First Lady wasn't to last, and soon it was time for Mike to bravely concede glorious defeat.
Mike Moore now looking very, very upset about this now, doesn't he? Looking like he'll need a lot of the encouragement Yvonne Moore said she was going to be able to give him. Mike, good evening.
I'm just ringing to congratulate you and Joan. You've got the country, you've had a tremendous result from your point of view. I wish you well.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
New Zealand has long tried to trick tourists into thinking that we're clean and green. The reality is far more dowdy and downright dirty. While Germany had its Hitler Youth, we had our Litter Youth. And after the war, armies of children were conscripted and forced to march around with signs encouraging adults to be tidy Kiwis. With masturbation still illegal and PlayStation not yet invented, nagging about rubbish was the #1 after-school activity. In 1968, litter whores were introduced, hoping to convince horny men to keep it to themselves. But the litter kept piling up, and by the 1980s, things had got so bad that Manukau City launched a bold new initiative: mobile litter control officers and a new policy of zero tolerance to discarded chippy packets and fizzy drink cans.
So you think it's a good idea?
I think so, yes. Probably a little bit severe at first, but it probably is a good idea.
Well, I wouldn't throw a piece of paper on the ground if it's going to cost me 20 bucks.
The council's only litter control officer may have been slow-moving, but like the Terminator, he was full of deadpan determination.
How strict are you going to be in enforcing these fines?
Well, the council's policy is that there'll be a short settling-in period, and then we'll be right down on the people who are dropping litter on our streets in an effort to try and keep our city streets clean and tidy.
Is it possible for one man to patrol the whole of Manukau City?
It's not going to be easy for one person to patrol Manukau City, however, we will be doing our best.
Despite being dirty, the job did have some perks and proved a great way to meet spunky young women.
Excuse me, lady, do you realise that it's the offence to drop litter on the streets of our city? I'm afraid I'll have to ask you for your name and address,
please. Behind every great woman is a man she'd like to get rid of.
Brian!
Brand new to TV1.
The only rational solution is to kill him. It was an accident.
Burying the evidence.
Maybe now you'll remember to close the fridge door.
has never been funnier.
It's not me. All we need is a nice cup of tea and a think.
New Zealand's own Burying Brian, coming soon to TV1.
It's our biggest ever stock take clearance, containers galore, incredible bargains, tables half price, beds half price, leather slashed, store-wide savings direct from the importer. Save up to 50%, only at Early Settler.
Here you go, fellas, dig in.
New McCain mini roast come in 6 great new flavours.
Oh yeah, that hit the spot.
Sour cream and chives, fantastic.
Surprisingly big taste for such little potatoes. McCain, you've done it again.
Keep out annoying birds, leaves and rodents, even snow, with Gutter Solutions. It's the superior metal spouting screen that keeps your gutters blockage free, while still letting rain flow freely into the gutter. Fits any type of roof, new or old, and it has a 10-year guarantee. For more information, visit the website or call 0800 333 101 today. Keep it clear with Gutter Solutions.
Experience the emotion in high-definition clarity. Panasonic Viera.
How do you satisfy boys' growing appetites at mealtime?
¿Y si comemos burritos mañana a la noche, mamá?
Old El Paso burritos. Really fill them up. True genius, Mexican style.
Normally, we wouldn't encourage this kind of behaviour, but jumping for joy over the Beds R Us total stock clearance is understandable. There's up to 40% off store-wide, including Sleepyhead, New Zealand's #1 selling bed. The Beds R Us stock clearance, on now.
Simply place Harroways into the microwave to make an easy, healthy breakfast in minutes. Delicious, nutritious, smooth and creamy. It's got to be Harroways, with all the wholesome values of yesterday. Thank goodness it's here today. Harroways.
Still waiting around on dial-up internet? Well, stop waiting, because there's still time to get broadband at home for the same price as dial-up. But you've got to have your home calling with Telecom. That's right. Sign up for 12 months before 30th of June and get your first 6 months of Telecom broadband for the same price as our most popular dial-up plan. Just $16.95 a month. And to make it even easier, we'll give you all the stuff you need to set it up yourself, free. Plus, there's no risk. If you don't think broadband's right for you in the first month, we'll give you your money back. This offer has been extended, so to sign up or find out more, call us on 0800 00 30 40 or visit us in-store or online. Go on, get Telecom broadband today.
Hearts and Swords are at your service. You're invited to live the adventure and return to a world like no other. Narnia.
Yes, I'm a mouse.
Beauty and its fleeting nature proved a popular subject for our early animators.
People always ask me, how do you make a hit record?
Ray Wolf was for many years considered the most beautiful man in New Zealand. And like most poms, the foxy old wolf had a soft spot for the beautiful game. The hirsute and genuinely lupine Mr. Wolf was accorded his greatest honour with a special guest appearance on this very recording, celebrating New Zealand's outrageous qualification for the Football World Cup in 1982. While rugby took a cold shower after some racist bum-chummery or other, our All-Whites buggered Australia.
Mackay nicely into Wooden. There's the lethal left foot, and it's there! A great shot from Wooden.
Then belted Fiji with a world record 13-0 drubbing. Fiji were shit as.
He's never played soccer before.
We sent the Indonesians sulking off. We were fucking good.
Shit, look at that! Elric! Shit!
We were guided by British professionals who looked like a sort of middle-aged Bodie and Doyle planning how to collar the crib. And then all hell broke loose when a feckless referee took a whistle spanner to our works against Kuwait, then a protectorate of the Ottoman Empire. A suddenly knowledgeable crowd knew that we were being ripped off in our own backyard.
And the penalty's been given.
And one cranky Kiwi took it upon himself to straighten out this bent ref by hoiking his stadium refreshment at the bugger. The crowd, clearly seen here, expressing their disapproval. Referee what's-his-name and a mysterious suitcase had to be spirited from the country under armed guard. Despite being reminded it was brown o'clock by advertising, our all-whites became household names. Brian Socksdown Turner evoked a Chatfieldian honesty. There was White Fro Herbert and even Bert from Sesame Street Sumner. They dared to dream the impossible and went about proving it with honest endeavour and a little help from the linesman. A laughable unlikelihood required a green-clad New Zealand to beat Saudi Arabia by 5 goals in Saudi Arabia, and we prepared for tears before bedtime. But a miracle on AstroTurf was about to unfold. A little-known fact is that a young Osama bin Laden was at centre-back against New Zealand that day. And some disturbing coincidences have only now been revealed. Watch as Winton Rufer drills it home against the Saudis. Watch the game clock. At the moment the Saudis are humiliated by Rufer's screamer, the time is 9 minutes 11 seconds. Coincidence? And watch again as a Saudi graphic appears to indicate the passage of impact into the Pentagon that would years later be manufactured by the hapless fullback that day, Bin Laden O. That mystery endures, but the final hurdle to soccer prestige was bravely grasped against China. And lo, New Zealand was to appear on the greatest sporting stage in the world, in the beautiful game. We even scored a couple of goals.
From the challenging, and scores!
Bert got one, Ernie the other. For one crazy year, we joined the world and did rather well, beyond the wildest dreams of soccer puffs nationwide.